What if I told you that a man who swore he'd never love again, a widower broken by loss, found his heart stolen by a small-town waitress with a smile that could light up the darkest night? Sounds like something out of a movie, right? But this isn't just any story. It's a real, raw roller coaster of emotions that'll make you laugh, cry, and maybe even believe in second chances. You're here because you're curious. How does a guy who's given up on love end up falling head over heels? What's the secret behind this sweet waitress who changed everything? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to get the answer you came for. I'm not just telling you a story. I'm inviting you into a journey that's going to feel like it's your own. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's dive into the mystery of how love can find you when you least expect it. You're not just watching this, you're living it with me, and I promise, you won't want to click away until you know how it all unfolds. Imagine a quiet little town in the heart of America, where the days move slow, and the diner on Main Street is the heartbeat of the community. That's where we meet Jack, a man in his late 40s, with eyes that carry the weight of 1,000 unspoken sorrows. Jack's not just any guy. He's a widower who lost his wife, Sarah, to cancer 3 years ago. Sarah was his everything, the kind of love you read about in books, the kind that makes you believe soulmates are real. When she passed, Jack didn't just lose his wife. He lost his faith in love, in life, in himself. He swore he'd never let his heart feel that kind of pain again. To him, love was a door he'd locked and thrown away the key to. He spends his days working as a mechanic, fixing cars with the same precision he tries to fix the broken pieces of his life. But every evening, he's at Rosie's diner, sitting in the same corner booth, ordering the same black coffee and pie, staring out the window like he's searching for something he'll never find. You've probably seen someone like Jack before. Maybe you've even felt like him, carrying a hurt so heavy it feels like it's part of you. That's why this story's going to hit you hard. It's about real people, real pain, and the kind of hope that sneaks up on you when you're not looking. I'm telling you this because I know you're not just here for a story. You're here for something that feels true, something that makes you feel seen. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around to see what happens next. Now, let's talk about Ellie, the waitress who's about to turn Jack's world upside down. Ellie's in her early 30s, with a laugh that fills the diner and a knack for remembering everyone's order like she's known them forever. She's the kind of person who makes you feel like you're home, even if you're just passing through. But don't let her sunny smile fool you. Ellie's got her own scars, her own story she keeps tucked away behind those kind eyes. She's not just serving coffee and pie. She's serving up warmth, connection, and a little bit of magic that nobody can quite put their finger on. When Jack walks into the diner, Ellie doesn't just see a customer. She sees a man who's hurting, a man who needs more than just a hot meal. And here's where things get interesting. Ellie doesn't push, she doesn't pry. But somehow, her small acts of kindness start to crack the walls Jack's built around his heart. A warm smile here, a gentle joke there, a moment where their eyes meet just a second too long. You're probably wondering, is this the moment where love starts to bloom? Or is there something more, something deeper, that's pulling these two together? I'm not going to spoil it yet, but I will tell you this. There's a reason Ellie's different, a reason why her presence feels like destiny. You're going to want to keep watching, because the answer to that mystery is what makes this story so unforgettable. Let's get real for a second. You and I both know life isn't a fairy tale. Love doesn't just show up and fix everything, especially when you've been through the kind of loss Jack has. That's what makes this story so special. It's not about perfect people or perfect endings. It's about the messy, beautiful, complicated way that hope finds its way back into a broken heart. You might be watching this because you're a hopeless romantic, or maybe you're a skeptic who doesn't believe in love at first sight. Either way, I'm talking to you. I'm saying, give this story a chance, because it's going to make you feel something. Maybe it'll remind you of a time when you thought you'd never smile again, or maybe it'll inspire you to take a chance on something, or someone you've been afraid to let in. Jack and Ellie's story isn't just theirs. It's ours too. It's about the way we all carry our pasts, the way we all hope for something better, even when we're too scared to admit it. And here's my promise to you. If you stay with me, I'm going to show you how two people, bruised by life, find a way to heal each other. You're not just a viewer, you're part of this journey, and I'm not letting you go until you see how it all comes together. So, what's the big mystery? How does a man who's sworn off love end up falling for a waitress who seems to know him better than he knows himself? Is it fate, coincidence, or something else entirely? And what's Ellie hiding behind that warm smile? There's a moment coming, a single heart-stopping moment, That changes everything for Jack and Ellie. It's the kind of moment that makes you lean forward, hold your breath, and realize you're watching something special. But I'm not going to give it away just yet. You came here for answers, and I'm going to deliver, but you've got to trust me and stick around. Picture this. It's a rainy night at Rosie's diner, the kind of night where the world feels small and quiet. Jack's in his usual booth, staring at his coffee like it holds the secrets to the universe. Ellie's wiping down the counter, humming a song that feels oddly familiar. Then something happens. Something so unexpected, so raw, that it shakes Jack to his core. What is it? What could possibly break through the walls of a man who's spent years building them? You're going to find out, but only if you keep watching. This is where the story starts to unravel, and I promise, it's going to be worth every second. Here's the deal, you're not just watching a video, you're stepping into a world where love, loss, and second chances collide. Jack and Ellie are waiting for you, and their story is about to take a turn you won't see coming. I'm asking you to stay with me, to feel this with me, because this isn't just about them, it's about all of us. It's about the moments that change us, the people who save us, and the courage it takes to let love in again. So, don't click away. Don't let this story pass you by. You're here for a reason, and I'm going to make sure you leave this video feeling like you've been part of something real. Right now, Jack's sitting in that diner, Ellie's pouring coffee, and something's about to happen that'll make you believe in love all over again. What is it? Well, that's the cliffhanger you're going to have to stick around for. Keep watching, my friend, because this is just the beginning, and the best is yet to come. Right where we left off, the rain is tapping against the windows of Rosie's diner, creating a soft rhythm that blends with the hum of Ellie's tune as she wipes down the counter. Jack's still in his booth, his coffee untouched, his gaze lost somewhere beyond the glass. But something's different. Tonight, there's a spark in the air, a feeling that the universe is about to shift. You're probably wondering what happens next, aren't you? I told you I'd keep you hooked, and I'm not backing down now. Let's dive deeper into Jack and Ellie's world, peel back the layers of their lives, and uncover the secrets that make this story so much more than a simple love tale. This isn't just about two people crossing paths. It's about the ghosts they carry, the dreams they've buried, and the mysteries that tie them together in ways neither of them can yet understand. You're not just watching this unfold, you're right here with me, feeling the weight of every moment, and I'm going to make sure you stay glued to this story as we unravel the heart of this small-town drama. So let's step back and learn more about Jack, Ellie, and the town that's holding its breath, waiting for something extraordinary to happen. Jack's story starts long before the diner, back when life felt like a promise that could never be broken. He and Sarah met in their 20s, two kids with big dreams and bigger hearts. They built a life together in this very town. Maplewood, a place where everyone knows your name and your secrets, whether you like it or not. Jack was the guy who could fix anything, from a busted carburetor to a neighbor's broken porch swing. Sarah was the dreamer, always sketching designs for houses she hoped to build one day. Their love was the kind that made people jealous, the kind that felt like it could outlast time itself. But cancer doesn't care about love or dreams. When Sarah got sick, Jack poured everything into saving her, every dollar, every prayer, every ounce of hope. Losing her didn't just break his heart. It shattered his belief in the world. Now, 3 years later, Jack's a shadow of the man he used to be. He's still the best mechanic in town, but he works in silence, avoiding the pitying looks from neighbors who don't know what to say. You've probably known someone like Jack, someone who's carrying a loss so heavy it changes the way they move through the world. That's why his story pulls you in. It's not just his pain, it's the universal ache of wondering if you'll ever feel whole again. But here's the thing. There's something about Jack's routine at Rosie's diner, something about the way he always chooses that same booth, that hints at a deeper reason he keeps coming back. Is it just habit, or is there something, or someone, drawing him there? You're going to want to keep watching to find out. Ellie, on the other hand, is a bit of an enigma, even to the folks in Maplewood who think they know her. She showed up in town about a year ago, with a beat-up suitcase and a smile that disarmed even the grumpiest regulars at the diner. Nobody knows much about her past, and Ellie's not one to volunteer details. She's got a way of deflecting questions with a quick joke or a refill of your coffee before you even ask. But there are moments, when the diner's quiet, when she thinks no one's watching, when her eyes drift, and you can see the weight she's carrying. Maybe you've felt that too, the way you can smile through the pain but still feel it tugging at you. Ellie's not just a waitress, she's a survivor, though of what, nobody's quite sure. Some say she's running from a bad breakup, Others whisper about a family she left behind. There's even a rumor that she's got a secret talent, something she keeps hidden behind her apron and her order pad. What we do know is that Ellie has a gift for connecting with people. She remembers how you like your eggs, sure, but she also knows when you need a kind word or a moment to feel seen. With Jack, though, it's different. There's a spark in their interactions, a quiet understanding that feels like it's been there forever. You're probably thinking, is this where the romance starts? Not so fast. There's a subplot brewing, a mystery about Ellie's past that's going to make you question everything. What's she hiding, and why does it feel like her arrival in Maplewood wasn't just chance? Stick with me, because this is where the story starts to twist. Maplewood itself is almost a character in this story. A town full of secrets and stories that simmer beneath the surface. It's the kind of place where high school football games still draw a crowd, where the annual fair is the biggest event of the year, and where gossip spreads faster than wildfire. But lately, there's been a shadow over the town. A string of strange incidents, missing items, odd noises in the night, has folks on edge. Some blame kids pulling pranks, others whisper about something more sinister. Rosie, the diner's owner, has her own theories, and she's not afraid to share them with anyone who'll listen. Rosie's a tough old bird, with a heart of gold and a knack for spotting trouble before it arrives. She's taken Ellie under her wing, treating her like the daughter she never had, but even Rosie senses there's more to Ellie's story than she's letting on. Then there's Tom, the town's deputy sheriff, who's been keeping an eye on Jack ever since Sarah's passing. Tom's not just a cop. He's Jack's oldest friend, the guy who stood by him through the worst days of his life. But Tom's got his own struggles, a failing marriage, a teenage daughter who's pulling away, and he's starting to wonder if Jack's late-night diner visits are about more than just coffee. These subplots weave together, creating a tapestry of tension that keeps you guessing. Is the town's unease connected to Jack and Ellie? Are their stories tied to something bigger, something nobody's talking about? You're not just watching a love story. You're unraveling a mystery that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. Let's zoom in on that rainy night at the diner, the moment we left you hanging. The rain's coming down harder now, turning the world outside into a blur of gray. Jack's still in his booth, but his hands are fidgeting, like he's wrestling with something he can't say. Ellie's behind the counter, her humming softer now, almost like a lullaby. Then out of nowhere, the diner's door swings open, and a gust of wind sends napkins fluttering to the floor. A stranger steps in, a man in a dark coat, his face half hidden by a hat pulled low. He doesn't say a word, just takes a seat at the counter and stares at Ellie like he knows her. Jack notices, and for the first time all night, he's not looking out the window. He's watching Ellie, his jaw tight, his instincts kicking in. Ellie's smile doesn't falter, but there's a flicker in her eyes, a hint of something like fear, or maybe recognition. Who is this guy? What does he want? And why does it feel like his arrival is the spark that's about to set everything in motion? You're probably leaning in now, your heart racing, because this is the kind of moment that changes a story. I'm not going to give you the answers yet. Oh no, we're just getting started. But I will tell you this, that stranger's presence is no accident, and what happens next is going to make Jack and Ellie question everything they thought they knew about themselves and each other. You're in this with me, right? You're not clicking away, because you know this story's about to take a turn you can't miss. Here's where I talk to you, my friend, because this story isn't just about Jack and Ellie, it's about us, too. It's about the times we've felt lost, the times we've stumbled across someone who made us feel alive again, the times we've wondered if fate is real. You're here because you love a good story, but you also love the feeling of being part of something bigger. That's what this video's giving you. A chance to lose yourself in a world where love, mystery, and second chances collide. I'm asking you to stick with me, to keep following this thread, because the deeper we go, the more you're going to feel like you're part of Maplewood, part of Jack and Ellie's lives. The tension's building, the stakes are rising, and there's a moment coming. A moment so raw, so unexpected, that it's going to leave you speechless. What does the stranger know about Ellie? What's Jack going to do when he realizes the truth? And how is this all tied to the secrets Maplewood's been keeping? You're not just watching a video, you're living a story, and I'm not letting you go until you see where this road leads. Keep your eyes on the screen, because the next part's going to hit you right in the heart, and you won't want to miss a single second. The rain hasn't let up, hammering the roof of Rosie's diner like it's trying to drown out the tension that's thick in the air. Jack's eyes are locked on the stranger in the dark coat, who's now sipping coffee at the counter, his gaze flickering toward Ellie every few seconds. Ellie's still smiling, but it's a tight, practiced smile, the kind you wear when you're hiding something big. You're right there with me, aren't you? Your heart's pounding, wondering who this guy is and what he's about to unleash. I promised you a story that'd keep you glued to the screen, and now we're diving into the deep end, where secrets start to surface and everything Jack and Ellie thought they knew gets turned upside down. This isn't just a love story anymore. It's a tangled web of mystery, betrayal, and a twist that's going to make your jaw drop. You're not just watching this. You're feeling every heartbeat, every glance, every moment that pushes us closer to the edge. Let's keep going, because the stakes are about to get higher, and there's no turning back now. Jack's not the type to confront strangers. Not anymore. 3 years ago, he might have walked over and asked the guy what his deal was, but loss has made him cautious, like he's saving his energy for battles he can't yet see. Still, something about the way the stranger looks at Ellie sets his nerves on fire. It's not jealousy, not yet, but a gut instinct that tells him this moment matters. He shifts in his booth, his coffee long forgotten, and catches Ellie's eye. For a split second, she looks at him, and there's something raw in her expression, like she's pleading for him to stay out of it. But before Jack can decide what to do, the stranger speaks, his voice low and rough, cutting through the diner's quiet like a knife. "You're a long way from Chicago, Ellie," he says, and the words hang in the air like a storm cloud. Chicago? Jack's mind races. Ellie's never mentioned Chicago, not once. The regulars at Rosie's always assumed she was from some small town like Maplewood, not a big city with a past that could follow her. Ellie freezes, her rag still in her hand, and for the first time since Jack's known her, she looks rattled. You're probably thinking, what's in Chicago? What's Ellie running from? I'm not going to spill it all yet, but this is where the story takes a sharp turn, and you're going to want to hold on tight. Let's pull back for a moment and weave in the threads of Maplewood's undercurrents, because this town's secrets are starting to bubble up, and they're tied to Jack and Ellie in ways nobody could have predicted. Rosie, who's been watching the exchange from the kitchen door, narrows her eyes. She's no stranger to trouble. She's run this diner for 30 years, seen every kind of drama unfold in her booths, but something about this stranger feels different, dangerous. Rosie's got her own subplot simmering. She's been getting anonymous notes slipped under the diner's door at night, cryptic messages about debts and promises. She hasn't told anyone, not even Ellie, but she's starting to wonder if they're connected to the strange incidents plaguing Maplewood. The missing tools from Jack's garage, the flickering streetlights, the whispers of someone lurking in the woods. Meanwhile, Tom, the deputy sheriff, is dealing with his own mess. His daughter Lily has been sneaking out at night, hanging with a crowd that's got him worried. Tom's been so caught up trying to keep her safe that he hasn't noticed the way Jack's been changing, the way his friend's eyes light up when Ellie's around. But Tom's about to get pulled into this storm, because the stranger's arrival isn't just about Ellie. It's about something bigger, something that could shake Maplewood to its core. You're feeling the tension, right? The way all these pieces are starting to connect, but you're not quite sure how. That's what makes this story so addictive. You're not just watching a romance, you're unraveling a mystery that's got layers you didn't see coming. Now, here's the twist that's going to hit you like a freight train. The stranger sets his coffee down and pulls something from his coat. A photograph, worn at the edges, like it's been carried for years. He slides it across the counter toward Ellie, and Jack, from his booth, can't quite see what it is, but he sees the way Ellie's face changes. Her smile vanishes, and her hands tremble as she picks it up. "You thought you could just disappear?" the stranger says, his voice colder now, almost accusing. Ellie doesn't answer, but her eyes dart to Jack, and in that moment, he knows she's scared, not just of the stranger, but of what Jack might think. The photograph, it turns out, isn't just a picture. It's a piece of Ellie's past, a clue to why she came to Maplewood, and it's not what anyone expected. Without giving too much away, let's just say it's not a lover or a family member in that photo. It's something far more complicated, something that ties Ellie to a life she thought she'd left behind. Jack's instinct is to get up, to demand answers, but before he can, Ellie does something nobody sees coming. She grabs the photo, stuffs it in her apron, and bolts for the diner's back door, disappearing into the rain. The stranger doesn't chase her. He just smirks, like he knew this would happen, and turns his gaze to Jack. "You don't know her at all, do you?" he says, and those words hit Jack like a punch to the gut. You're probably screaming at the screen right now. Where's Ellie going? What's in the photo? Who is this guy? I'm keeping you in suspense because that's what makes this story so good. You're invested, and you're not going anywhere until you get answers. Let's talk about Jack for a second, because this moment is a turning point for him. He's spent 3 years building walls around his heart, convincing himself he's better off alone. But Ellie's changed him, even if he hasn't admitted it yet. Her kindness, her warmth, the way she makes him feel like he's more than just a widower, it's cracked something open inside him. Now, with her running out into the night and this stranger stirring up trouble, Jack's faced with a choice. Stay in his safe, lonely world, or chase after Ellie and risk getting hurt again. You've been there, haven't you? Standing at a crossroads, knowing one path could change everything. That's why Jack's story resonates. It's not just about love, it's about courage, about deciding whether to let someone in when you've been burned before. And Ellie, she's not just running from the stranger, she's running from herself, from a truth she's been hiding since she set foot in Maplewood. The photograph is only part of it. There's something else, something she's afraid will destroy the life she's built here. You're dying to know what it is, and I'm telling you, it's worth the wait. This story's not just a romance or a mystery. It's a journey about facing your past, fighting for your future, and finding the strength to love again. Maplewood's not sleeping tonight. And neither are you. The diner's still buzzing with the aftermath of Ellie's exit, Rosie's muttering about calling Tom, and the stranger's just sitting there, like he's waiting for the next act to unfold. Outside, the rain's turning the streets into rivers, and Ellie's out there somewhere, her secrets trailing behind her like shadows. Jack's on the verge of making a decision that'll change everything, but there's one more piece of the puzzle you need to know. The stranger's not alone. As he steps outside to light a cigarette, a car idles across the street, its headlights cutting through the storm. Someone's watching, someone who knows more than they're letting on. Who are they? What do they want with Ellie, or Jack, or Maplewood itself? You're not just watching a video. You're caught in a story that's spiraling toward a climax you can't predict. I'm asking you to stick with me, because the next part's going to blow your mind. Ellie's running, Jack's waking up, and the secrets of this town are about to explode. What's in that photograph? Why did Ellie run? And what's the stranger's real game? Keep your eyes on the screen, my friend, because this is where it all starts to unravel, and you're not going to want to miss a single second. The rain is relentless, turning Maplewood streets into a maze of reflections as Jack steps out of Rosie's diner, his heart hammering like it hasn't in years. Ellie's out there somewhere, running from a past that just crashed into her present, and Jack's made his choice. He's not letting her face it alone. You're right here with me, aren't you? You've been on this journey from the start, feeling every twist, every heartbeat, and now we're racing toward the climax of a story that's about to break wide open. I promised you answers, and I'm delivering. Every question, every mystery, every secret is about to come to light. But I'm also promising you one last surprise. A twist that'll leave you stunned and thinking about this story long after the video ends. This isn't just about Jack and Ellie anymore. It's about love, redemption, and the courage to rewrite your story when life tries to tear it apart. So let's chase the truth together, tie up the threads of Maplewood's secrets, and find out how a grieving widower and a mysterious waitress find their way to a future neither thought possible. Keep your eyes glued to the screen, because this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Jack's boots splash through puddles as he heads toward the edge of town, guided by a hunch and the memory of Ellie's terrified eyes. He's not sure where she's gone, but he knows she mentioned the old mill by the river once, a place she said felt peaceful. The mill's abandoned now, a relic of Maplewood's past, and as Jack approaches, he sees a flicker of light through the cracked windows. Inside, Ellie's there, clutching the photograph, her face streaked with rain and tears. But she's not alone. The stranger from the diner is there too, and so is the driver from the idling car, a woman with sharp eyes and a voice like steel. The photograph, Jack learns as he steps into the shadows, is of a young girl, and it's the key to everything. Ellie's real name isn't Ellie. It's Elizabeth Carter, and she's not just a waitress who wandered into Maplewood. She's a former private investigator from Chicago, one who took down a powerful crime ring 3 years ago, the same year Jack lost Sarah. The girl in the photo is her sister Mia, who was kidnapped by the ring as leverage to silence Ellie. Ellie thought she'd saved Mia, thought she'd escaped that life when she fled to Maplewood. But the stranger and the woman are here to collect on an old debt. They're not after money. They want Ellie to finish what she started, to testify in a trial that could bring the rest of the ring down. But testifying means risking Mia's life again, and Ellie's been hiding to keep her sister safe. You're probably reeling right now, just like Jack, because this isn't the story you expected. Ellie's not just a kind-hearted waitress. She's a hero with a past that's catching up fast, and Jack's about to step into her fight. The climax hits like a thunderclap. The stranger, whose name is Victor, pulls a gun, demanding Ellie come with them. The woman, Carla, reveals she's a rogue operative who's been tracking Ellie for months, torn between duty and her own grudge against the crime ring. Jack, who's been listening from the shadows, steps forward. His voice steady despite the fear in his gut. She's not going anywhere, he says, and it's the first time in years he's felt this alive, this certain. What follows is chaos, a struggle, a gunshot that echoes through the mill, and Ellie tackling Victor to the ground, her training kicking in like muscle memory. Jack grapples with Carla, not with fists but with words, pleading with her to let Ellie go, to choose justice over vengeance. It's a moment that strips everyone bare. Jack's fighting for a woman he's only beginning to understand, Ellie's fighting for her sister and her freedom, and Carla's fighting her own demons. In the end, it's Rosie who turns the tide. She'd called Tom after Ellie ran, and the deputy sheriff bursts in with backup, his flashlight cutting through the dark. Victor's arrested, Carla surrenders, and Ellie collapses into Jack's arms, the photograph still clutched in her hand. You're probably cheering, but there's more to this resolution than a tidy ending, because love and healing aren't that simple, and Maplewood's still got secrets to spill. Let's tie up the subplots, because you've been waiting to see how Maplewood's pieces fit together. The anonymous notes at Rosie's diner? They were from Carla, who'd been watching Ellie and trying to scare her into leaving town. The strange incidents, the missing tools, the noises in the woods, were Victor's doing, part of his plan to unsettle Ellie and force her hand. Tom, who's been struggling with his daughter Lily, finds a new resolve after this night. He sits Lily down, listens to her fears, and promises to be the father she needs, even as he grapples with his failing marriage. Rosie, ever the rock of Maplewood, decides to keep the diner open later, turning it into a community hub where people can share their stories and heal. And Jack, he's not just a widower anymore. Helping Ellie, standing up to Victor and Carla, it's woken something in him. A belief that he's still got a life to live, a heart that can love again. He and Ellie don't jump into a romance right away. That's not how real life works. Instead, they start small, with honest conversations, shared coffee at the diner, and a promise to face their fears together. Ellie tracks down Mia, who's safe in a new city, and begins the slow process of rebuilding their bond. The crime ring's trial looms, but Ellie's ready to testify, knowing she's not alone anymore. You're feeling it, right? The way this story's not just about love, but about finding strength in the people who see you, who choose you, even when you're broken. Now, here's the final twist, the one that'll leave you in awe. A week after the showdown at the mill, Jack's cleaning out his garage, sorting through old boxes he hasn't touched since Sarah's death. He finds a sketchbook, one of Sarah's, filled with her designs for houses and gardens. Tucked inside is a letter, written in Sarah's handwriting, dated a month before she passed. It's addressed to Jack, and it's like she knew he'd need it now. "Don't let me be the end of your story," she writes. "You're meant to love again, to live again. Find someone who makes you laugh, who makes you brave." There's a drawing with the letter, a sketch of a diner, unmistakably Rosie's, with a figure that looks eerily like Ellie standing at the counter. Jack's breath catches, because Sarah never visited Rosie's. She was too sick by the time it became his haunt. How could she have known? Is it coincidence, fate, or something more? You're probably chills right now, because this twist isn't just a plot point. It's a reminder that life's mysteries don't always have answers, but they always have meaning. Jack keeps the letter close, a bridge between his past and his future, and when he sees Ellie at the diner later, he smiles, knowing Sarah's blessing is with him. This story's ending isn't just about Jack and Ellie. It's about you too. You've been with me through every twist, every revelation, and I want you to walk away with something real. Maybe you're grieving like Jack, or hiding like Ellie, or searching for your place like Tom or Rosie. This story's telling you that love, in all its forms, is worth the risk. It's telling you that your past doesn't define you, that courage comes when you choose to show up, and that sometimes, the people who change your life are the ones you least expect. Maplewood's still standing, its diner still buzzing, its people still healing. Jack and Ellie are taking it one day at a time, building something new while honoring what came before. The final image is Jack at Rosie's, Ellie pouring his coffee, their hands brushing just for a moment, and a smile that says they're ready for whatever comes next. You're not just watching a video, you've lived a journey, and I hope it's left you believing in second chances, in love, in the magic of ordinary moments. So what do you think? Did this story hit you as hard as it hit me? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because there's more where this came from. Until next time, keep chasing the stories that make you feel alive.